What's up, good people? In today's video, we're going to talk about whether learning to code in the age of artificial intelligence is a waste of time. People are worried about AI replacing coders. ChatGPT is writing entire programs, and tech layoffs seem to be constant. AI experts are predicting that learning to code will no longer be required. But here's the thing, they're AI experts, not prediction experts, and there's an important difference. So I've been coding for over a decade, and I've also done PhD level research analyzing millions of predictions. And I'm going to share with you some perspectives that the AI experts may have missed. Firstly, the future is uncertain. Let's have a look at the comments of Jensen Huang, who, as the CEO of NVIDIA, likely needs no introduction. At the World Government Summit in Dubai, Jensen said the following.
You probably recall, over the course of the last 10 years, 15 years, almost everybody who sits on a stage like this would tell you it is vital that your children learn computer science. Everybody should learn how to program. And in fact, it's almost exactly the opposite. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program, and that the programming language is human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence.
Very few people in the world are more qualified than Jensen to speak about artificial intelligence. But that doesn't mean he has a crystal ball. Even very smart entrepreneurs have a tendency to get predictions wrong. Let me give you some examples. Marty Cooper, the inventor of the first cell phone, predicted that cellular phones would absolutely not replace local wire systems. Steve Chen, one of the founders of YouTube, was worried about his company's long-term future. He was worried that there would not be enough interesting videos to sustain the platform. Steve Ballmer, when he was CEO of Microsoft, said, "There's no chance that the iPhone is going to get any significant market share. AI is more complicated than YouTube and the iPhone. Even the smartest people in the world can't say with certainty what the future holds." So in the age of AI, when people are saying that coding will no longer be required, that statement should be viewed in its historical context. The second perspective is that AI coding may increase the demand for coding. Even if Jensen's prediction is correct, this doesn't mean that coding skills aren't required. To see why, let's have a look at the example of the automatic teller machine. The thinking went that if a machine could dispense cash, there would be no need for bank tellers. However, what happened was the number of bank teller jobs increased after the ATM was introduced. Before breaking down why we get this counterintuitive result, let's have a look at a similar example, which is paralegal work. So lawsuits involve a lot of manual document work. When people created software to automate this work, some thought that the role of the paralegal would be greatly reduced. The opposite happened. Similar to what happened with ATMs, the number of paralegal roles has been increasing over time. Part of the reason for this is that when you can automate document review, you tend to bring in a lot more documents into the lawsuit. This means that paralegals are required to complete the work that the software can't do. So let's have a look at how this could apply to code. If software can automate code, the result of this is that a lot more code will be written. Imagine that building a piece of software becomes as easy as a voice command. The amount of code being written could multiply hundreds, thousands, perhaps millions of times. Similar to how lawsuit software increased paralegal work, AI written code could increase the demand for coding. So let me give you some specific examples to explain why coders will probably always be required. I'll pick three fields: medicine, law, and engineering. These professions currently use a lot of software that is tested and maintained by experts. So if you had a pain in your chest, would you want to rely on a diagnosis that was created with no human involvement? If you are having serious legal issues, would you rely on advice that was created with no human involvement? If you were stepping on a plane, would you be comfortable with safety checks done with no human involvement? The answer is probably not. You'd probably only be comfortable if people were involved in each step of the process, from writing code to fixing the bugs to reviewing the output to make sure it was correct. The third perspective is that hallucinations may never be solved. Have a look at this screenshot from ChatGPT. This is an example of what is called a hallucination, which is when AI gives a wrong answer but with confidence. So spelling a word backwards is a simple task, and it's easy to check whether the output is right or wrong. But imagine this in the context of a more complicated task such as coding. So if you're creating code and AI produces confidently wrong answers, you can see why a complete lack of coding knowledge could be an issue. Some people make the argument that AI is constantly improving and that one day this won't be an issue. But hallucinations are a problem that may not be solvable. It's not even true to say hallucinations reduce each time a new model is released. So the previous example was created using GPT-4o, but the more recent o1 models from OpenAI reportedly have more hallucinations than the older version. One more perspective to consider is that AI produces worse code. You're probably not trying to work out whether you need to learn to code 5 or 10 years from now. You're likely looking to build software right now and trying to work out whether you should learn to code as part of this process. So the AI that is available right now, it does not improve productivity. It results in 41% more bugs, and it does not assist with burnout. So even in the controlled environment of OpenAI's demo days, AI doesn't work as expected. At a recent annual dev day, OpenAI gave its AI agent the task of buying 400 chocolate-covered strawberries within a given budget. The agent had trouble with multiple steps and with unexpected scenarios, and it sometimes made up information rather than saying it didn't know. So what's the takeaway if you're wanting to build software right now? The comprehensive approach would be to go to college and take courses that teach you how to code. So this is the path that I took, but it's not the most effective way to learn to code. If you just want to learn the skill of coding, you can learn from a coding bootcamp or even from teaching yourself. There are many examples of people who took coding bootcamps and ended up getting jobs at prestigious tech companies such as Google, Amazon, and Netflix. College is great for meeting smart people who might one day become your colleagues or even co-founders. Having a particular college name on your CV might open some doors, particularly if you're looking for venture capital. But if you just want to learn the skill of coding, college probably isn't the best path. At the other end of the spectrum, there's a quick start approach where you can learn the basics of coding in a few days, some claim even a few hours. This approach is free and it's fast, but it does have some significant drawbacks. If you're only going to be building software for yourself, then knowing the bare minimum may be okay. But if you're looking to build software and sell it to other people, there's a much higher degree of responsibility. You may be collecting personal information, you may be processing payments, and people may be relying on your software to earn their livelihood. If things go wrong, the stakes are high, and this is the type of scenario where you'll be wanting to invest more time. So lastly, there's the balanced approach. If you're looking to build software for other people, they're entrusting you with a lot of responsibility. Your investment in your own skills and knowledge should reflect this. So this recommendation is for people who plan to be in the business of building and selling software. If you're looking to do this, you'll need to know the basics of security, and this won't be done in a few days. So programs such as those provided by Code Academy have a 150-hour course, which essentially is computer science in a nutshell. It will cover security and also more technical topics such as data structures and algorithms. The investment is relatively modest from both a financial and time perspective. From a cost perspective, you can get started for about the same cost as your Netflix subscription, which is a lot less than the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars you would need to obtain a college degree. From a time perspective, consider the famous words of Abraham Lincoln, who said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." So if you're planning to be in the business of selling software, no matter how fast the software is to create, building a successful business takes time. So if that's the case, isn't it worth spending at least the next few weeks sharpening your coding axe? I hope you enjoyed the content, and if so, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.